You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the June 16th meeting for the Michigan City Port Authority Commission. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Michigan City Port Authority Board of Directors meeting, June 16th. I call the meeting to order. I'm looking for approval or correction to June 2nd, 2025 meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented for June 2nd, 2025.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Comments from the public? We're good. I see reports from the harbor master, Mr. Frenick.
All right. Since last time, we got the public notice for the dredge permit application. So those went out to adjacent property owners along the work area. So so that's in motion. There's a certain amount of time then that the DNR waits. If somebody wants to request a hearing, they can do that. And assuming how that all goes, then they'll go to the next step. We had the basin out here treated for weeds last week. They'll be back again in a couple of weeks to do another round for a different variety of weed. So we have a dozen or so different weeds growing out here, and each one responds differently to different chemicals. Yeah. And we continue adjusting finger piers and swapping dock boxes and doing little repairs and stuff. We have still launched a few boats, but that has slowed down, so that's where we are at the moment, unless anybody has any questions.
Very good. Let's move on. Reports from the Assistant Harbor Master Administration, Mrs. Polk.
We continue with regular office work in the office. And I have one other thing that I've talked to Mr. Ferguson about tonight, is that we need to transfer $614,000 from the operating fund to the capital improvement fund, that the State Board of Accounts likes to see it in the minutes, in the meetings. And then I will call in the next couple of days and see what kind of interest rates we can get on it.
That's for a CD?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
No?
Well,
No, it's,
Always put it there.
yeah.
it's, I presume you eventually put it into a CD or so, but it's just, it's a transaction, moving it from operations into the capital fund. And as Marianne said, it's the state requires a
To see
little
in the
more
minutes.
public notice on how we're doing that.
Mhm.
We've done that, yes. And in fact, before we make a motion for approval, that is last year's excess funds that we're moving from one place to another. It takes so long to go through all of this stuff.
You all set, Mrs. Polk?
Yep.
Well, we'll move on to you.
I'll make a motion that we accept what Mary Ann said and go ahead and move the $614,000 from operations into our capital account.
I'll second the motion.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, then you're all set this one.
I am.
Okay. Move on, Mr. Ferguson, subject to financial oversight, review approval of the bills to be paid.
Just looking at the bills, the front cover page that has the summaries, we don't have the total amount of the bills, we just have the bigger amounts. The difference is very close to $5,000 even. So we're showing $69,454 and change. The total that we will look for approval on is $74,512.52, which shows on the next page. If you go down the cover page real quickly, you can see we've got petroleum, two slugs of petroleum bills.
water department, sanitation, just the usual, Edgewater, the dredging permit that our master just probably talked about, although this might be an older bill, but it's the kind of stuff that Edgewater does for us. Bills for security for individuals, those individuals we pay. I just have the electric, which is the annual, I'm presuming it's the annual electrical box review. We go through all 600 boxes and make sure they're all functioning properly. More security, NIPSCO Electric, gentleman that helped with the field dock repair. Or else that's a company, I'm not sure, 1,100. And then the next one is Weir for 1,600. That is a company that did with repairs on one of the forklifts on at Trail Creek Marina. And then we've got 3 refunds there. That total that we're looking at is pretty obvious. It's $69,454. And the rest is $5,000 on the other page. Take a look at it at your leisure. We'll take a motion for that we pay the bills as listed, which is $74,512.52.
I will second his motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's all I have.
Good. Mr. Hank is not here. Port operations, pretty much I have no news, so that's good news at this point in the game. Seems like our help's out there at gas stops being attended. So that's good stuff. Mr. Messina, Board of Communications Special Events.
I really only had one thing during my travels up and down the docks, and was approached if we still enforce the overage of a boat slip. It's 2 boats parked behind each other. And I said I thought we did. I would bring it up to tonight's meeting. Maybe something to look at. Are you aware of some already probably?
There may be some that have slipped in, but yeah, we actively pursue that.
That's kind of what I said. He didn't mention any name, didn't point any fingers, but just said I would mention it.
As we find them, if we have the opportunity, we move them into a bigger slip. Sometimes we don't have a bigger slip to move them into immediately, but we just moved a couple earlier this year, from the 700 to the 200. So, yeah.
That's all I have.
Mr. Manner, Master Planning Special Projects and Parkways.
I have nothing to report. Comment? Talked about dredging, and I know that falls under between Bruce and Tim. Once we get the dredging part completed that you just talked about, is that it, or is there more straggling pieces there?
Yeah, at the moment, that would be it. That's the permit, right? And then it's good for 5 years.
Thank you. Just wanted to hear that. That's super. That was something that Bruce had been working on for quite a while now, with Tim, of course, just to make sure we move ahead. And that's just, I don't want to steal the thunder, but that's just to get us prepared. So when we do have to dredge, we've got the necessary
More
stuff.
moving pieces.
That was the object,
Excuse
to
me.
make sure that, and I was very well aware of what was going on with Tim and I working on that, and the 5-year thing is something I'm really liking, so possibly we can get them in here to dredge that and see what happens.
Yeah.
And you did let the boat owners, the property owners along Trail Creek of what's going on too, so.
Comment? What's the water level compared to what it usually is this time of year?
Well, we're slightly below the long-term average, 6 inches. We're a foot lower than we were last year on this same date.
And how are we getting along down there?
Well, we haven't really had any complaints.
Pretty good.
Yeah, if it's a sailboat, you're borderline, but there aren't that many sailboats up that way. So,
Thank you.
All right. Anything else from Mr. Mayor?
No, Very good.
Moving on, Mr. Cypress, advertising and public relations.
Last meeting, we were presented with an opportunity to donate to Reins of Life. A few of us talked about that a little bit as the meeting subsided last time. And that it's a quality organization and so on and so forth. So with that, I'd like to make a motion that the board donates $500 towards Reins of Life to their program.
I'll second that motion.
Any questions, any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, moving on. Anything else, Mr. Cypress?
Yes. So we have a tenant in Harbor Country Adventures, right? Because they lease dock space from us over on the wall and so on and so forth. It has been brought to my attention that the city of Michigan City, the Common Council are being sued by a condo owner for noise disturbances from the concerts that Harbor Country provides over there. And a letter has been drafted by the owner of B&E Marine in support of Harbor Country. And so, if you guys don't mind, I'd read the letter to the board here publicly. I'm reading this.
Distributed to everybody.
Everyone has a copy. And I'm reading this on behalf of Rob Benz, co-owner of B&E Marine. B&E Marine is a family-owned marina that has proudly served the Michigan City community for over 72 years. Located in Washington Park near the Franklin Street Bridge and Millennium Plaza, our marina operates 55 docks along Trail Creek, providing a home for boaters who cherish the vibrant waterfront culture of our city. I'm reaching out to express our unwavering support for Harbor Country Adventures, owned by Victor Terry and their summer concert series, as well as to highlight the positive impact their business has had on Michigan City. We understand that a small number of condo owners have raised concerns about noise pollution related to the Friday and Saturday night concerts held by Harbor Country Adventures in Millennium Plaza. However, I want to emphasize that these concerts have not negatively impacted our dock renters. In fact, our 55 slip holders have expressed overwhelming appreciation for the concerts, often noting that the music enhances the lively atmosphere of the waterfront without being intrusive. Many have mentioned that the sound is so subtle from our docks that they can't even discern the genre of music being played. We have received 0 complaints from our dock renters regarding these concerns. It's also worth noting that local bars in the area frequently play music late into the night without generating complaints from our clients or the broader community, suggesting that the concert series aligns with the existing well-accepted vibrancy of Michigan City's waterfront. Furthermore, to our knowledge, there are no noise ordinances in Michigan City that restrict these events, as they conclude well before applicable curfews. B&E Marine strongly supports Vic Terry and Harbor Country Adventures for the vitality they bring to our community. Their diverse offerings include the popular summer concert series, the annual food truck festival, Lake Michigan cruise boat tours, jet ski rentals, kayak rentals, have significantly enrich Michigan City's waterfront experience. These activities attract visitors from across the region, including Chicago, just 38 miles away by water, South Bend, and beyond, boosting local tourism and supporting businesses like ours. The concerts in particular create a welcoming, festive environment that complements the recreational boating culture of our marina fosters, drawing more people to enjoy our beautiful Lake Michigan shoreline. Harbor Country Adventures has been a valuable partner in making Michigan City a destination for fun and adventure. Their efforts, led by Vic Terry, align with our mission to promote a thriving, community-oriented waterfront. We respectfully urge the Common Council to recognize the broad community support for these events and significant economic and cultural benefits Harbor Country Adventures brings to Michigan City. We hope you will consider the positive feedback from our dock renters and the broader community when addressing concerns raised by a small group of residents. Thank you for your time and consideration. B&E Marine stands ready to support initiatives that keep Michigan City vibrant and a welcoming place for residents and visitors alike. Please feel free to contact me if you have any questions or would like to discuss this matter further. Sincerely, Rod Benz, co-owner, B&E Marine. So I simply wanted to just bring that to the attention of the board, that this is a thing going on in town. Vic is our tenant over there on the wall, and he's been here for some time. I think he's done a tremendous job with the lakefront and provides a lot, and I would hate to see something like this cause him to not be here any longer. So, that's all I've got.
But just to clarify, he is not our tenant for purposes of the summer concert.
Correct, yes.
No.
Only for the piece of the wall. Yes, thank you.
All right, and you're all set then, Mr. Secretary?
Oh, and but further to that point, this same letter has been sent, to my knowledge, has been sent to the park board. Okay, so I believe they are all aware that this letter exists.
Anything, Sam? You good? Everyone good? All right, moving on to the attorney report. Mr. Zachary.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Frank reminded me that we have an outstanding issue related to the license for the Grand Prix event, and the board was going to decide how much to charge. The park department charges $20,000 a year. I believe we have, about 5% of the area that the park department is devoting to the Grand Prix event, so perhaps $1,000 would probably be the appropriate amount for the license agreement. However, as Mr. Frame also pointed out, the budgets are probably already in place with the, the LaPorte Tourism Bureau. And so maybe what the board would do is waive the license fee for this year, but then impose the $1,000 license fee for the 2026 season. But that's up to the board. I would just, again, if we have about 5% of what the park department is devoting and they're charging $20,000, $1,000 would probably be a reasonable amount.
There was a piece there that I missed, you didn't cover. You were saying you're thinking we should suspend that for this year?
It's an option available to the board because, again, it's going to be occurring in August, early August, isn't it?
First weekend.
First weekend in August, and their budgets are probably already in place.
I make a motion, we suspend the license fee amount for this year and consider this as an item for next year.
I'll second.
Any conversation? All in favor?
Aye.
And then on another matter, I know I still have to do some work on the license agreement for people that are going to use the pavilion, and then work with the committee to come up with some parameters. You know, let bachelor parties be there and things of that nature. I was out sick for a little while last week, or the week before last, so I'm a little bit behind, but I'll get caught up quickly, and I'll get in touch with the committee, and we'll move forward on those two
Touch
first.
base with the sailing school.
I'm sorry?
Touch base with the sailing school and make sure we're all
Yeah, and that as well.
locked up with them.
Yep. And that's all I have.
Got a question?
Any other questions, anything else? Anybody think? Any comments?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Any comments from public? Coop, you good? All good? Okay. All right, we're adjourned.
I'll second that.